Hey students, welcome to the 54th Tomoka Regional Science and Engineering Fair. This is your instructional video on how to get into the virtual judging room on Saturday, January 30th, 9 a.m. It's when it all starts. Well, here we are. We're in a judge's room, and off to our left here is the judge's window. Well, there's not a judge in there right now. How did I get here? Stay tuned to find out. Here come the directions. How was that for an intro? Anyway, welcome to the 54th Tomoka Regional Science and Engineering Fair, and hopefully the first and last virtual fair. Once upon a time, you registered as a student in your project in this fair, or a teacher did it for you. You received a username and a password, and it is absolutely super important that you go ahead and try to log in again well before this Saturday, January 30th, 9 o'clock a.m. Do this soon. Test to make sure you still can log in. You'll want to because you'll have some good information here in a minute, and I'm going to show you all about it. But if you have trouble logging in and the forgot your username and password feature is not working out for you, please don't re-register. That'll mess up everything. Go ahead and email me and I can reset your username and your password and then communicate to you with what it is, and then we can give it a try again and it should work out. It is important that you know that and know it well before Saturday. I have a test student one, and I'm going to go ahead and model exactly how I got into that interview room. Simply log in. And then it's this simple. You go into the virtual contest. The virtual contest has some interview rules here that are very important for you to consider and remember. So when you're in this live interview with a judge, make sure you don't share where you live, don't share any contact information, your phone numbers, address, email. The judges know not to ask for this, but generally they're friendly people and they want to help. And sometimes we do have mentoring roles that arise due to the science fair, but that only goes through me to your parent to make the connection if there's a future mentorship possible. Other than that, make sure you're not sharing anything in the background that's private or sensitive. And of course, conduct yourself with the highest professionalism. Think of yourself on this day as a colleague of the interviewer. The interviewer comes from all sorts of engineering and science backgrounds, and today you're their colleague, and they're just interviewing you to find out about your science and engineering research. They're absolutely excited and intrigued with the things they've seen so far. Speaking of, let's go ahead and enter that judging room, and I just clicked that little bar that says judging room, and here I am. I'm in the judging room, and right there would be the judge if I got in there ahead of time. They may be not there when you jump in at the interview time because they're busy looking at the video possibly that you've provided. If it's anywhere from 2 to 4 or 5 minutes, they may be looking at it now. If you did a lengthy one up to 10 minutes, they may watch the beginning of it a little bit and then jump in. That'll help them prepare their minds on giving you some questions about your project. So be prepared for that. They also have access to any images of your project that I recommended you put up to 6 of those images in your project display. And I'll remind you how to do that again on this video, but it's important to give them as much information prior to this interview as possible. And here is something also you can do during your presentation. Right here is a share screen. If it happens to not be there on Saturday morning, then be prepared to just explain everything. But this right here can allow you to share your screen. And I, of course, have a couple screens on right now, and I would pick screen 2 to share. So in this little tiny field, you're going to get to see me talking and hopefully the screen that I've selected here in a minute. There it is. Now, you can see that it's not the best view for the judge and it gets kind of cut off, but it's something, and the judge can potentially navigate around a little bit in it. But this is the student view. The judge will be able to see this in full view, and then you can talk about it. And then you have the option down here to stop sharing if you are finished with that. And I have 2 screens going, so if you only have one monitor and one screen, then that will take over what you're looking at, and then you'll just be talking into the camera. Be careful to listen for them to ask a question. All right, so there's the interview room. Here's where we are. When you're finished with this, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate the time to be interviewed, and I hope you enjoyed this. And you can either hang up right here, or you can hang up right here, and then you'll wait to enter the judging interview room again. Now, here's the key thing. You're already scheduled for your interviews. And right here is where the interview schedules are. You'll have 3 to 5 judges. And I want you to take note at how this is displayed. All of them should say January 30th, 2021. If it doesn't, contact me immediately. Let me know. The times should be anywhere from 9 a.m. all the way till noon, but most of them won't go till noon. This is not sequential, and I don't know why it's displayed this way. But notice, when's the first time for this student? 9 a.m. It happens to be listed as the second one. Then the next interview is 9:40, and then the last interview is 10 o'clock. This is the one I just used to demonstrate, so don't count that one. They are not displayed sequentially, and they're 20-minute time blocks. The judge knows you have 15 minutes to go through an interview, up to 15 minutes. It doesn't have to take that long. And they have 5-minute buffer in between interviews to register scoring. But that's how that's working. Anyway, I was telling you about what judges can see. What you need to do, if you haven't yet, is to make sure your project is best portrayed in the offline, non-interview room as possible. And how you do that is click your name over here and go to my profile, where you can make edits. Now, this is all the information you've supplied me thus far. And if your name if any email is incorrect, especially a parent email, I've been emailing the wrong email this whole time. So make sure that's up to date and correct. But here's the images. Here's where you can put, if you'd like, a picture of your face. That'd be the first thing you see, but you don't have to do that. I just put like the logo here, or maybe you put like just a picture of your project board in the profile area. Other than that, you can put up to 6 images of your project board. This one, we screenshot the whole project display, and then maybe in here, project 2 or image 2 and 3 and 4, I might provide some zoomed in areas of the project board. You can do this by taking screenshots of your computer and uploading. On a previous video that I emailed you, I showed you more details on how to use the snipping tool, save it to an image file, and then upload this. But of course, when you're doing this, you click image, it's going to have you choose a file on your computer, and then you upload it. I highly recommend you do that, and it'll make a nice presentation for your project. The other thing that's been a little incomplete in some projects is the description and the project abstract. The project abstract, simply your abstract, cut and paste and put it there. But that is publicly displayed for the judge to see prior to them meeting with you in the interview, and prior to them potentially while they're watching the video, they can read your abstract. That's a nice feature that's offered here, and this will be the finishing touches that I recommend. Also, some of you and your parents have received emails about a media release, and if this doesn't say allowed right here, you're potentially going to be dismissed from the science fair. So it's absolutely critical that you go ahead and make sure that you've either got the hard copy from your science fair teacher on campus that you can get sent to me, or you have a parent check the email. That's an email from noreplies@zfair.com. It's not my email. It's one that comes from this system. It's very important to double check that. Anyway, so let's go back into the room just for one more try, because I can see you and you can see. Anyway, so that's all there is to it, and that it all starts at 9 a.m. Check your schedule, know when your interview times are, and be ready. It's probably best to be sitting in front of your computer about 5 minutes before each interview. You may not be allowed to enter the room until the actual time. I'm not sure how the settings work. But be there and be ready, and then click live, and the judges will know if you're in the room or not. They get a little indication that you're there waiting. So if you're waiting there for a little while, know that the judge knows that, and know that they're probably looking through your video or looking through some of the things that you've supplied them in order to give a good interview. Anyway, good luck to you. I'm super proud of all the students of Volusia County Schools who did a science fair project this year. Congratulations to you making it to the regional fair. It was I only limited very few per school to make it to this level. So congratulations on getting to this level. There'll be another video coming out Friday, this Friday before the day of the fair. It's a parent and student orientation. It's what I usually do the morning of the science fair to explain about the judging and how things work out with categories and special awards this year. So stay tuned for that video coming to you via email and on a YouTube link.